Okay, so you're a business owner and you're thinking maybe self-publishing might be right for you and your specific business. And you're probably right. That's why you're going to want to stick around for the answer in today's video. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. So what we're going to talk about today is self-publishing for business owner, a complete overview, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this. So let's get started with the introduction. The definition of self-publishing and its relevance to business owners. This is the most important aspect of the entire process here. It's to understand you already have a business, but you're wondering, can self-publishing help expand your business, finding new customers, all sorts of things? Well, the first thing is, what exactly is self-publishing? Well, it's the practice of independently taking your own writings that you've done with your business, for example, you're putting it together into a book, and then we're putting this thing onto the market. You're doing the steps yourself. Now, you can find freelancers to help you with different parts of it, but as opposed to hybrid publishing or traditional publishing, you're going to be doing the indie route where you're really controlling every aspect of the publishing process, which gives you complete control over what's going on. Now, the relevance to business owners, the thing is, it allows business owners to showcase their expertise. So you're really good at something, and you want to show people that you know how to do it, whether it's carpentry, you're taking care of your puppies, or whatever it is. You've already got a business. Why not use self-publishing as a way of getting your book onto the market and pulling that audience into it? You can find a lot more customers by going this exact route. Now, it empowers entrepreneurs to directly control their brand, content, and profits. And that's one of the key issues here. Just like with any other aspect of your business, you're going to want to pay close attention, because what you're able to do is get in contact with the audience through a completely different route. You're letting Amazon find you new customers while you sleep, which is one of the main reasons to actually go this route, okay? Now, the benefits of self-publishing for business owners, a couple would be creative control. That means you can control the content that's going on to the market for your business through these specific books that you're going to be writing. Cost efficiency, you're not going to be wasting a lot of money trying to get traditional publishers to pick up your book, or these hybrid publishers, which are simply going to be taking a lot of money right up front, and maybe your book doesn't even get published or doesn't really make any sales, and they maintain control. And the other is the brand authority. So you're able to establish your brand by using the book like a business card. It's a really powerful technique if you've already got a business, creating these books to actually help your business. You don't even need a lot. Even a single book can be used to drive the traffic to your website, where you're able then to talk about your products and services. So like a book on puppy care for somebody who's already got a business about taking care of dogs. This can be really powerful at driving new traffic and finding new revenue sources for your already existing business. The next is the overview of the control structure. So the first thing is you have the introduction, and that would be just like the content structure rather. So you're going to have just your introduction in your book, then you're going to go into your main body where you're having the actual text, and then you're going to have the conclusion and summary, which keeps it all really simple, okay? Now, understanding self-publishing, there's a couple things you're going to need to understand. The first is explaining self-publishing in the context of business owners. First thing is that when you're dealing with business owners, you've already got the business. So it's not like we're going the other way, where we're using the books first to see what happens, and then we create the business, but you've already got the business. Now, the business significance, this means that self-publishing, it empowers business owners to directly manage their content, build brand authority, and engage a wider audience. It has a lot of different things. In particular, it's going to help you build your email list. And that's one of the most important things as a business owner, is to have a list of people who are relevant for your specific business, the ability to push of a button to maintain contact with them. And then you have the entrepreneurial benefits. It offers creative control, cost efficiency, and the opportunity to position your business as business owners as leaders in their industry. And that's something that you really can't do a lot of different other ways. In other words, by coming out with a book, it says, look, you're putting your flag down and saying, this is a business for which I'm an expert in, and I know what I'm talking about, so you should buy this book, or you should join my business, or do both. And that's one of the beauties of the book. It establishes authority for you. Now, advantages of self-publishing over traditional publishing for businesses. The biggest challenge is the fact that many traditional publishers just aren't going to take your book. That doesn't mean your book's not good, but you're going to want to have that creative control and not have to wait for the gatekeepers to decide whether or not they want what you are offering. Then you have the cost savings. As a business owner, paying attention to what your costs are plays a very important role. And without an agent, it makes it really difficult with the traditional publishing, and usually it doesn't even matter at the end of the day. And then the speed to market. Traditional publishing can take you a year or two, maybe even longer, to get that first book picked up. Whereas if you do it yourself, you can simply get this book out to the market as fast as you want. All right. Then you have the common misconceptions about self-publishing for business owners. They might be thinking, well, it's really low quality. It doesn't have to be, though, because that's a complete misconception. It'll be as high of quality as the number of processes and rounds of editing that you're running this thing through, or lack of credibility. Now, this one makes no sense. Like most people, they don't open a book up to see who exactly the publisher was. That's just not what people do. So the idea that you lose credibility is complete nonsense. And then limited distribution. This is also a misconception, because the fact is you get a bigger distribution. You're able to take this book, and just because it may not be in a physical store necessarily, it's going to give you the ability to get into every single digital store. And that's one of the things I teach my clients on a regular basis. So just check out my coaching, my one-on-one. You can actually do a free discovery session where we will talk right about that. Now, identifying publishing goals and audience. The first thing is setting clear objectives for self-publishing your business-related content. You want to make sure you have audience alignment. Look, if you're doing a puppy care business, don't be writing a book on how to do vertical gardening. It just doesn't make any sense. The other is looking at the content purpose. What are we trying to accomplish? You're establishing an authority and telling people what they need to do in order to get whatever it is that you're teaching them, right? So they want to get right to that goal. So you're going to be looking at the problem, you're going to look at the solution you have, and you're going to look at the benefits of doing and putting in place what you find. Then you're going to need measurable targets. So the idea is what exact targets can you measure as you're coming along? Like specifically, how many sales you're looking at getting, what kind of traffic you're going to be driving, the engagement metrics, all these sorts of things will play a role when it comes to publishing, okay? Then we have identifying your target audience and understanding their needs. Now, the beauty is you already know your audience demographics based upon, if you're doing a correct assessment of your already existing business customers. That gives you an idea of some of the people who might be interested in buying your book. So you're going to write it to that specific audience. You'll have your psychographic insights, looking closely at the psychology of this whole thing, their interests and other things, in order to make sure you're writing in a language that's friendly for them and makes them interested in fact, purchasing your book, okay? Then you have the research and feedback, utilizing surveys and social media, and just looking at the sales you're already getting for your business, okay? Then we have tailoring your content to meet the specific interests of your audience. That means we're going to need to do this deep audience research like we were talking about, going down into the content personalization. We're making sure the content is specifically geared and engineered for our specific audience, and feedback integration. We're going to continuously gather and incorporate feedback from your audience to continue to make sure that the content you're producing is in proper alignment. You don't want your audience to feel out of alignment. Otherwise, they're going to mark your emails as spam, and they're simply not going to want to be your customers for very long. So that's something that so many people make a mistake with their businesses if they're coming out with a book that's not properly aligned and isn't in a format and style that their audience is looking for, okay? Then you have choosing the right content for self-publishing. There's a couple things to keep in mind here. You have the types of content suitable for business owners to self-publish, like books, white papers, and guides. The thing is, you have books and ebooks. This gives you a lot of flexibility for people to be able to read it, and you're going to have personal success stories, all sorts of things related to your business. And then white papers and research studies. These are like in-depth documents that can be self-published to showcase your as a thought leader, establishing yourself as that, present research findings, and offer insights to the industry, so people will even be quoting some of these self-published books that you're putting out. Then you have how-to guides and manuals that really make it easy for people to get in, learn what you're trying to teach them, and get out, okay? Then you have selecting topics that showcase your expertise and align with your business, anywhere from identifying the niche relevance or that align with business objectives, showing your passion and authority, running the audience surveys like we talked about before, doing competitive analysis to see what your competition's doing with regards to books, and then just keywords and trend analysis. These are all the things that are going to be setting up your self-publishing business, which is really part of your main business, to work out really, really well for you, okay? If you want to succeed, that's exactly what you're going to need to do. Then it comes to creating high quality content. There's a couple things. You need tips for effective writing for business owners. A couple of these would be like using clarity and simplicity, audience-centric approach, so that we're really looking at that audience like we're talking about, editing and proofreading. Remember, if one of the critiques is the low quality, let's go through a lot of editing on this thing to make sure it's really playing out like we need it to, okay? Then you have ensuring your content provides value and addresses pain points. That is so important, so underdone by most businesses. You need to not only understand your audience, but the pain pain that they experience and giving them these actionable solutions that they can just put into place immediately. And then we're getting continuous feedback from them to make sure that we're adjusting the content that we're putting out to make sure it's properly aligned with the needs and problems of our audience, okay? You have incorporating your unique business insights and experience. You're pulling in your personal anecdotes, things that you've had from customers and experience. You're going to have your expert analysis saying this is what works and this is what doesn't. And you're going to give these case studies showing people that by following the strategy and the framework that you are suggesting, this thing is going to work out just fine, all right? That's why they should get this book of yours, right? Overcoming common writing challenges faced by business owners. Now, a couple of these, content planning will help you with a lot of these problems, where you're writing down what exactly you're going to say before you say it. You're going to do some research strategies, going in deep on this thing to really narrow down who your audience is and how to communicate, and then feedback and collaboration, working together with other professionals to make sure that your book is of the highest quality possible, okay? Now, editing and polishing your content. And you have the importance of professional editing and proofreading. And this, again, is increasing the quality of the stuff that you're doing, getting that quality assurance in place, showing that you have that credibility, professionalism, and the clarity and effectiveness of your writing. That's what's going to connect with your audience to show them they should consider your primary services and products that you're selling when they see the quality of the book that you're putting out. So literally you can sell your book by your existing customers, or you can find new customers through your book. Either way is just fine because it involves expanding the size of your business. Is that right? Now, self-editing techniques for the business owners. One of the things is just to take a break. After writing for a period of time, take a break, step away, and make sure this is still in alignment with the message you're trying to get across. Use editing software like Grammarly. You'll find my affiliate link below in the description. That's a fantastic tool for figuring this thing out. And then read aloud. Don't just assume you got it, but make sure that if you listen to it, I like to run it through an app called VoiceStream on my iPhone, so I can listen to the book to make sure that there's no grammar issues. I can just pause it and then go look those up and fix them. There's no reason to have these mistakes. And then seeking feedback from peers and mentors. Go to these people and find out if this is it. Get that diverse perspectives so we find out if this thing's really going to actually reach the audience we're trying to do, and be open to constructive criticism from them as they're coming to you, and consider this as possible mentorship opportunities so that you can get the feedback from your mentors to make sure that they're able to tell you what you can do to improve the quality of the writing that you're doing to make sure we're really hitting that target of the audience that we have. Now we have enhancing readability and clarity in your content. That's going to be done by simplifying the language that you're using. No need to use these long, complex sentences. Let's speak to people like they're people. Keep the paragraph short and use bullet points. That really pops off the page, making it really, really easy for people to absorb your content. And then use consistent structure so that it's following it through all the way through the whole book. You can even maintain that from book to book as you put out additional books. Now we get to the design and formatting considerations. First thing is designing an appealing cover for books and other visual content. You want an eye-catching imagery so it really catches your thing. You'll find my affiliate link to the cover designer that I suggest down below in the description if you're looking for somebody to really put a high-quality cover on your book, okay? Then you have your clear branding, making sure that it's clear that it is your brand and not someone else's, so it matches your main business. And then we're just using a professional design. I use Fiverr for most of these services to make sure that we get it really hit on target the very first time, okay? Now, formatting your content for various platforms and devices. The first thing is a responsive design to make sure that the format is going to be coming through very easily, where based upon screen sizes and stuff. I use a program called Juto to do that. You'll find that my affiliate link below in the description. I also have a course on formatting made easy, and that goes through exactly how to do it, and I suggest you learn this skill set. This is one of the few ones I do not believe you should outsource. Bad idea. You're going to optimize your book title and stuff for SEO to make sure people will find this thing easy using search engine optimization and making sure that you have the consistency in place as well, okay? Now, utilizing graphics and illustrations to enhance the user experience, and that's a big one because visual engagement plays such a huge role when it comes to getting your book and making sure it connects with your audience. And then you're going to clarify complex concepts. Don't assume they know anything. It's called the curse of knowledge, where you assume that your audience already knows something when in reality they don't know these things. So you break it down for them and keep it simple. It will also establish you as an authority and expert in the field that you're talking about to make sure that you also have the branding and cohesion so it's all fitting together under your brand, okay? Publishing platforms and distribution options. Now, there's a lot of these things, but we're going to give you an overview of popular self-publishing platforms for business owners. The first would be Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, KDP, and this is probably the biggest one. You definitely want to get it on there. You can have your paperback, your hardback, your ebook. You can even get on Audible ACX your audiobook of this book, and you want a version of the book, and you want as many formats as possible. Then you have Lulu is a great choice to do. I specifically used it for my hardcover books, but my absolute favorite pick is actually you going with Ingram Spark. It's the one that's maybe more money than Amazon in many ways. And then you have Blurb. Okay, so that gives you a few options. And now, a step-by-step guide to publishing on different platforms. The thing is, the first thing you're going to do is preparation. You're going to make sure that your content is fully ready, like we talked about editing, making sure we're targeting that audience. Everything's in place for this content. It's in alignment with your business. The next is account setup. Set up the accounts that are necessary. And then you're going to do the content upload. You're going to take all these files that you put together, hopefully using Juto, because I really love that software. You're going to put these files together, the books together, right, the ebook, and the paperback, and the hardcover, all of these versions, and then we're going to upload it to the platform that you just created. Now, you need understanding distribution channels and research and reaching your target audiences. So you have different distribution options, and I recommend going with Amazon and Ingram Spark and Drafted Digital. Then you have your audience segmentation, but in reality on this one it's not so hard because you already have your business, so you should already be aware of that. And then feedback and adaptation, where you're taking in the feedback from your readers and making sure we just make adjustments to the book, which is one of the reasons why we actually go the self-publishing route in the first place. Okay, you have your pricing strategies and royalty considerations. You're going to be doing market research to see what the pricing needs to look like. You're going to have royalty models to make sure that you're making as much money off of these books as you possibly can. And you're going to have promotions and discounts to drive even more sales than you normally would be getting. Then you have your leveraging. What are you doing? You're leveraging self-published content for business growth. This involves integrating self-published content into your marketing strategy. This is not just some random thing we're doing here. It's directly inside of the way that you're communicating with people. You're going to have this content alignment. That is to say that your books, your self-published books, are actually in alignment with the main thing that you're working on, the main business you have. You have a promotion plan. How exactly are we going to tell our customers about these books that you're coming out with? And then data analysis. We're going into the data and taking a deeper dive look at what's going on, okay? Next, using your book or content as a lead magnet for lead generation. This is my favorite. You're simply going to have this valuable content, and you can actually give it away for free in exchange for an email address. You just need a landing page, and you're going to do some lead nurturing on those individuals once they get onto the email list. It's an insanely powerful thing. In fact, it's probably the top reason to even have a book on the market, is so that we can get new emails, new leads for your business. And you're going to have building thought leadership and authority in your industry. You're going to have this expert content out there. People are going to be sharing insights about this, maybe even sharing your book itself, in order to have, and you're going to have consistency and adaptation as we improve it, as we're getting feedback from our market. Okay, marketing and promoting your self-published content. This means that you're going to be creating a comprehensive marketing plan for your self-published content. You're going to get it out there. You're going to have content integration, where it's going to be integrated exactly on terms of this marketing that you're doing on it. And one of the things I do is within my content marketing course. You'll find content marketing course made easy down below in the comments. That's something, or in the description, that's something that I definitely would recommend in terms of how exactly are we going to best market this thing. You have your promotion channels, which ways we're going to get this thing through, and then measurable goals, so that's easy to see if we're actually nailing them. We're going to be utilizing social media, email marketing, and other channels for promotion, and that kind of comes down to this social media engagement, making sure that as we share this content, using content marketing like we just talked about, and then we're pushing it out to social media and engaging those people. And the email marketing campaigns, we're sending these targeted emails that are going to be showing people the book and also the other products and services or affiliate products and services that are relevant, that we've tested out and proven they actually work, and using content syndication to make sure that we get our media and our books and all of this stuff out across as many platforms as possible. Okay, we're going to be collaborating with influencers and industry partners for wider reach. You already have a business. We should be reaching out to these other individuals, and we're going to be hosting virtual events or webinars related to your self-published content to make sure that as people see this, they're going to be like, look, you can get a book. It will explain things. And if the book doesn't explain some things, well, maybe they hire you in order to do that job as an expert in your field. In addition, we're going to be measuring success and gathering feedback. We're going to be tracking sales and performance metrics of your self-published content. We need to see the sales analytics. We need engagement metrics so we can see how much engagement we're getting, and a return on investment analysis to find out, is this actually worthwhile? Is what we're doing working? And if not, let's make it as a pivot or a change in order to get this book to sell. Okay, you're going to be analyzing reader feedback and reviews to improve future editions. This is a very important one. We're going to be looking at those reviews. Negative reviews can teach us something, and positive reviews can teach us something. Make sure you're learning, and look at your competition as well, and you'll see what happens there to make continuous iterations on our content, and looking at pattern recognition to see what patterns we have where we're making these mistakes. Next, we're measuring the impact of your self-published content on your business. Is it having an impact? Are we driving more leads? Do we see business going up? That's the whole point of it. And then you're going to be repurposing content for business growth. That means maximizing the value of your self-published content by repurposing in other formats. We can do ebooks to webinars. You can take your blog posts and infographics, or make podcast and video content about your content that you have inside your book. There's no need to keep recreating stuff. You can use your old stuff, and we just simply repurpose it. And that is such a powerful tip that so few content creators actually pay attention to, and business owners definitely say, I'm too busy, I don't have time to actually make real money. And that's how exactly you go about doing it, okay? You're going to be creating courses, workshops, online programs based on your self-published material. And this one is really powerful because people read the book and say, I need to know how to really do this for my business. Can I hire you to help me with that? All right? Or exploring opportunities for licensing and syndicating your content. Look, you can almost pay people to rent your content. It's unbelievable. The opportunities, the partnership research, if you're looking, you'll find these people, or licensing agreements. Not a problem. Developing this clear licensing agreement so people can pay to do that. And then just getting legal counsel to make sure everything's going to go just fine for you as you're moving forward. The other thing is legal and copyright considerations. We were just talking a little about that legal there, right? We need to be understanding the copyright and intellectual property rights for your self-published content. You should get yourself familiarized with basic copyright basics, okay? So you know exactly, like when you put the thing on the market for the very first time, making sure that, yes, the copyright's in place. The other is licensing options, and then protective measures to make sure people aren't able just to rip your content off, which would be quite a pity, if you know what I'm saying, okay? So the legal and copyright considerations you have navigating potential legal issues related to self-publishing. That would be like copyright compliance, making sure we're not using other people's material, privacy and data protection to make sure this stuff is actually protected, and dispute resolution. So if somebody makes any claims, you are protected against that, okay? Then you have protecting your brand and business through proper legal measures to make sure that the trademark registration or contract contracts and agreements are in place, and then you seeking that legal counsel like we were just talking about. And as you can see, in conclusion, there's a lot of considerations to focus on when you're dealing with self-publishing for your business, but it's definitely something you're going to want to consider doing. It's not something you want to blow off because it is such a powerful concept that is worth taking a deeper dive into, okay? Now, for your business, if you would like to discuss this further upon the best strategy, you can simply look below in the comments and book a discovery session with me for absolutely free, and definitely grab a copy of my free self-publishing checklist, which you also can find below in the description, that will explain everything you need to know to get started about getting this book self-published and also getting it to sell. And I will see